in the third station of our practical, we will demonstrate the intrinsic muscles of the hand. As we said, they are generally arranged into a lateral group of muscle called the thenar eminence and a medial group called the hypothenar eminence. Then we will see the lumbaricals, the interossei and the adductor of the finger. Our first group is the thenar eminence, in which we have got three muscles. The first one is this one is the abductor pollicis brevis. Immediately medial to it is the flexor pollicis brevis, and deep between them we find opponens pollicis. All the three muscles share a common origin, which is the flexor retinaculum, and they also share a common innervation, which is the recurrent branch of the median nerve. Okay. Our first muscle is the abductor pollicis longus. As we said, it originates from the flexor retinaculum, the scaphoid muscle, the scaphoid bone, and the trapezium. It is inserted into the radial aspect of the base of the proximal phalanx. Okay. As its name implies, it is an abductor of the thumb. The other muscle is this one. It is the flexor hallucis brevis. It originates from the flexor retinaculum and the trapezium, and by another head from the trapezoid. It is also attached to the radial aspect of the base of the proximal phalanx. Again, as its name implies, it's a flexor of the thumb. Okay. Okay. Deep in between them, we find opponens pollicis. Opponens pollicis also takes an origin from the flexor retinaculum. The third muscle is the opponens pollicis, that is found in between the abductor pollicis brevis and the flexor pollicis brevis. In between them, we find the opponens pollicis. Again, it takes an origin. It takes an origin from the flexor retinaculum, and it is attached on the whole metacarpal, first metacarpal bone, the whole range of the metacarpal bone. To see the actions of these muscles, abduction of the thumb, and this is flexion of the thumb. Okay. Okay. All right. As we said, all of them are innervated by the recurrent branch of the median nerve. Now, let's see the hypothenar group. The most medial one is the abductor digiti minimi, flexor abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi brevis, and in between them opponens digiti minimi. All of them are innervated by the deep branch of the ulnar nerve. Okay. The abductor digiti minimi originate from the pisiform and from the tendon of the flexor carpi ulnaris. It is attached to the ulnar side of the base of the proximal phalanx. The flexor digiti minimi brevis attached from the hook of the hamate to be attached again in the radial side of the base of the proximal phalanx, while the opponent's digiti minimi attached through the whole of the fifth metacarpal bone. Okay. Again, they are all innervated by the deep branch of the ulnar nerve. Okay. Our next group of muscles is the lumbricals. The lumbricals are 4 in number. Our next muscle is the adductor pollicis. The adductor pollicis arises in 2 heads, a transverse head and an oblique head. The oblique head arises from the base of the second and the third metacarpal bones, while the transverse head arises from the whole length of the third metacarpal bone. It is attached on the medial aspect of the base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb. Its main action is adduction of the thumb. Adduction. It is innervated by the deep branch of the ulnar nerve. Right? Our next set of muscles are the lumbricals. This one, this one, and this one, and this one. They are 4 in number. They takes an origin from the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus tendon. The lateral 2 lumbricals are unipinnate, only one pinna of muscles, unipinnate, unipinnate, while the ulnar 2 lumbricals are bipinnate, takes an origin from each tendon. Those are bipinnate. The insertion of the lumbricals is dorsally into the extensor expansion above the base of the proximal phalanx, into the extensor expansion. The action of the lumbricals is mainly to maintain extension of the proximal and distal interphalangeal joint, while other muscles are in action. So, another point in the lumbricals is the innervation. The lumbricals muscle takes nerve supply. The 2 lateral are from the median nerve, while the 2 medials are from the ulnar nerve. So, the same as the flexor digitorum profundus from which it is arises. The lateral 2 lumbricals from the median nerve, while the medial 2 lumbricals from the ulnar nerves. The last set of muscles in the intrinsic muscles is the interosseous muscles. Interossei are of 2 groups, palmar interossei and a dorsal interossei. The dorsal interossei are clearer to see. Their function is to abduct the digits. Our axis is the 3rd finger. Abduct, moving them away from the 3rd finger. Okay. The dorsal interossei are 4 in number and they are bipinnate. So, they takes an origin from each metacarpal in their metacarpal spaces. Okay. The palmar interossei found deep They are 3 in number. Their main function is to adduct the digits. So they are 3 in numbers, 1 for the index in the ulnar side, and 2 for the ring and the little finger, to adduct them into our axis, which is the third bone. All interossei are innervated by the ulnar nerve. So, regarding the muscles and their innervations, the thinner group of muscles, all of the 3 are innervated by the median nerve. All 3 hypotheners are innervated by the ulnar nerve. The lumbricals is divided, the lateral 2 from the median and the medial 2 from the ulnar nerve. All interossei are from the ulnar nerve, and the adductor pollicis is innervated with the ulnar nerve. That's all for the intrinsic muscles of the hand.